Hello everyone and welcome to the first and opening game of the Medway League Series season, this one, 6, 5, God, I've been away for too long, it's been far too long. I am Rob Bites Bragg and I'm joined by Sam Midwood. How you doing, mate?
Hello. All right, how's it going? Yeah, excited for this one. Preempted, it's almost like a pre-season one, isn't it, with the proper one kicking off tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like a little taster, a little aperitif.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to be in any second now. Our first game of the season, of the day, is Blue Bin Gamers versus Big Chungus. And straight away, we are into pick and draft. I'm really excited about this pick and draft because we've got a few real big target bands that we're keeping our eyes out for, because we've got I'd say two big players to keep your eye on in this. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are lots of big players, but two of them especially.
Yeah. Well, we've got War Goddess Urza, who was in it last year, and brand new team after Big Chungus did pretty well. So not Big Chungus, sorry, Big Bin Boomers that's as well in here. So we've got the jungle to look out for as well.
Yeah, definitely. So on the side of Big Chungus, which is the team on your left as you're looking at them, it's a relatively new team. Lickmelid is the returning jungler. He's kind of rebuilt this team around himself, and he's who we're really looking at. He's very much a kind of meta jungler. He's going to be on that kind of Olaf, Rek'Sai, Nocturne, even a bit of Sej. And as you see, Olaf has been banned out as Gragas, and their ADC is meant to be pretty strong as well, and you can see the Caitlyn respect ban coming out. Funnily enough, nothing going towards Urza in that top lane. I'd have expected to see something along the lines of the Kayle, the Alawi, maybe even the Ornn ban coming through. But we'll see what the first pick is coming in for Team Chungus, and it is the Mordekaiser.
Yeah. Yeah, Mordekaiser obviously with pretty much since the last MLS as well, that he's been changed as well. So could be interesting to see the new Mordekaiser. Really strong as always with the death round as well, be able to pick off a target. So we'll see how that goes.
And then the Lux and the Zac coming through. Elle in the mid lane. She is the new player for this Blue Bin Gamers, the only change from last season, I believe, and is very much a control mage player. Lux right in her wheelhouse. Excited to see what she can pull through on this. You know, Urza might steal the spotlight a bit, but Elle is by no means a bad player. You know, a good solid high plat player, and she will probably have a bit of a mechanical edge over Leeds Ting as her opposition. So it will be fun to keep an eye on. The other big matchup to keep your eye on is, you know, while Blue Bin Gamers are the kind of probably slightly more mechanical team, Lickmelid is probably the favourite coming out of the jungle in this matchup, and it'll be a case of can he kind of snowball that early game and put his team in a real commanding position as we move forwards. As we can see, he will be on the Jarvan.
Yeah, and the Veigar just came out there as well on Leeds Ting, so could be a really interesting mid lane, and of course going to try and jump on that Lux pretty easy, no escape. So Elle's going to have to be pretty careful on her toes there.
Yeah, Thresh through for Slap and Tickle. Max and Slap. Jasper, I think. Max and Jasper are one of the longest serving bot lanes, I think, in the MLS so far. So you know, Thresh always a good solid support. I don't think Thresh has ever been too far out of meta. He's always your good safety fallback. So easing their way in.
Yeah.
He does like the engaged supports, Thresh. I would kind of say, I would put him towards the kind of lower end of the engaged supports. I mean, obviously he has the hook, but, you know, he's not quite on the same level as Pyke or Leona or, you know, something of that caliber.
Yeah, halfway house, yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting because, you know, obviously not picked their top laner on the side of Big Chungus. So what do you think the picks are going to be next based on these comps?
Well, so Big Chungus, I think, have the Mordekaiser top most likely, unless the Veigar goes AD carry. Oh, you're right, the Veigar probably will go AD carry. based off this, I mean, the Kale ban is definitely targeted as it's probably his number one top lane pick. I'm almost surprised they didn't pick it up first rotation, as they do, as Triple B do target this bot lane of Garbage Khan and Martley Epic, with the Morgana and the Aphelios. God, just too new for me. But then the Kale and the Fiora. So on the side of Urza, the Aatrox is picked up. I'd have put that slightly further down, perhaps, on his pick list than normal, but maybe he's been practicing that one lately, shying away from the Illaoi or the Ornn. Maybe not the best pick into that Mordekaiser, I suppose. Especially from the Ornn pick.
You're both two very aggressive teams so far. No holding back, really. So good to see. Start the MLS straight into it. No holding back. But yeah, as you said, Lickme Lid is going to be a key point, especially with the jungle changes as well. Punishing for the wrong decisions and no catch-up XP as well. So I really think if Lickme Lid really comes out the blocks quickly, he's going to punish the other jungler.
Yeah, Zach is, I guess, safe early game, but it's definitely not someone who's going to present any kind of challenge with Jarvan in the early game in a 1v1 sense.
Yeah.
The Lucian pick up in the bot lane by Martley Epic. Almost surprised. I was kind of expecting the Kalista to come out because we have been hearing big things about this Ballista bot lane out of Big Chungus. But choosing the Lucian over the Kalista, I guess he just wants a little bit more early pressure, a bit more of an aggressive pick. And against this Jinx, he might find that it works out for him.
Yeah, that Jinx is going to have to be really careful against the Blitz grab. I'm notorious for being grabbed and not avoiding the skill shot. So hopefully Max 2-11-2 or 2-1-1-2 as you want to say it maybe, has got better dancing shoes than me.
Well, I think, and I think this is the thing that inversely affects older players more, is the changes. I guess they're a little while ago now to Blitzcrank on the range of the hook, where they added about 100-150 range to it. I know the older player you are, the more safe you think you are with your position against a blitz hook. And that little extra bit of distance has got me so many times in the last few months, where you think you're safe, you don't need to flash, you don't need to Zhonya's or whatever, you'll be fine, and then it just keeps going.
Oh yeah,
just keeps going. So we'll see whether Max does have his dancing shoes on and whether he has adjusted himself to that little bit of extra range. But yeah, it will be all about those hooks in the bot lane, whether it is a blitz grab or a thresh hook.
I mean the team fights are going to be super interesting. I'm going to have to get my vocal cords ready and prepared for that. But it's looking like it's going to be a interesting game as we got a couple more minutes until the delay. So yeah, tell us, Fight Sue, how do you think it's going to go?
Well, as I said, I think this is very much going to be an early game focus from Lickme Lid. He's got a Veigar and a Mordekaiser who, aren't the earliest of champions. I mean, especially that Veigar. Infinite scaling, but he takes a while to turn on, and even Mordekaiser in the top lane is going to take a while to get going. But the Jarvan's definitely well positioned to pressure the Zac. So it'll be a case of making sure his lanes are safe, trying to catch out that Zac in the jungle as he can, keep an eye on him to make sure he can't pull off any, strange gank paths, make sure the warding's solid, particularly around, for Big Chungus specifically, around the enemy Raptor camp, making sure that there are no long ganks in for the Lux onto the Veigar, because that Veigar is not a mobile champion. If Zac's coming in, it's flash or nothing pretty much. The cage can come up and it will catch a stun, but it's probably not going to be fast enough unless he's real quick on those fingers.
They're certainly going to be tested on their movement and their reactions.
The other thing I'm going to be watching out for is Urza in this top lane. He's always been the superstar of this team. no longer in the mid lane, no longer picking that Katarina, as far as we know. I won't rule it completely out. You never know when top lane Katarina might make a showing. But not this match. And, you know, Aatrox is a very different champion. He can still 1v5, but definitely not right at the early game. And not the same kind of mobility. He's, you know, it's not quite the easy setup that a Katarina can be once you're real far ahead and popping all over that team fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, both teams do have a fairly strong kind of scale into that late game, with both the Vigar and the Jinx especially being those late game champs.
They've both got potential, as you said. Obviously, Jarvan will be the early game impact, and he'll really have to go up above and beyond to have that impact. And then obviously it'll pass over to the rest of his team really to take them over the finish line with the Vigar and the Lucian as well. Whereas, Cleveland Boomers, that's the one. They will have quite a steady game actually. You know, there's no real kind of strong early game, but again, and then late game, obviously they've got the Jinx, pretty high to carry late game, so that could be interesting to see as well.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat. You know, I'm keeping an eye on you guys, all 15 of you. Let me know what you think about this draft. Who you think is coming? Noki's asking us, who do we think is coming in, swinging their thang around? You know, it's always going to be Blue Bin Boomers. That is where they're coming from. You know, they're always coming in as that mechanically gifted team.
And actually, fun fact, in 5 years, the team's only ever changed one player as well. So they're well practiced and well molded. Whereas on the side of Big Chungus, pretty new team as well, and they're going to look to lick me lid to lick their lid for them, if you may.
No, I like that. That's good. Ooh, I have left the chat up. That might get spicy. I hope it does. We always like that. We're getting a couple Big Chungus fans in the audience.
Let's see. Hashtag Big Chungus. Oh, actually, let's do hashtag lick my lids. Or hashtag BBB. There we go.
Nice. We'll probably keep an eye on that on Twitter. Adam will keep an eye on that on Twitter.
Yeah, he'll update us. Good old Adam.
There we go. We had a speculative hook thrown out there from the Blitz. Not hitting anything this time, but here we come in with a little bit of movement from Big Blue Boomers as Big Chungus do leave the area. Double warding that tri-bush just to be sure. As the recalls come in, it looks like, even though there was a little bit of skirmish, no one's going to spot each other.
But yeah, very bit safer than the picks may have pictured.
Alright, blue buff start on the side of Big Blue Boomers, and bottom side as well for Big Chungus.
Yeah. What did you think of the jungle changes then, Black 2 as well? Because obviously the emphasis now a lot is on ganking, so you know, and then a failed gank is going to really put the jungles behind. How are they going to kind of go about it? What do you think the best?
You know what? I'd normally say it would make the junglers play a bit more cautious, but this is first game and this is MLS. I'm expecting nothing more than full-blown aggression.
That's what we like to hear. Right answer.
I'm hoping from Lick Me Lid especially, you know, we have hammered on a bit, but I think it really is what his team needs to have a chance moving into the later game. If they don't have a lead, I do think they're going to be...
We do have a level 2 here though. So actually he has flashed already, preempted flash. And that's the first little action and first aggression as well of the game.
Yeah, safety first, and possibly not what we were expecting from the more veteran Max and Jasper in the bot lane there. It will make Lick Me Lid's job much easier coming in for this gank later on.
Level 3 gank job and doesn't get the knock up, so the Aatrox should be able to dash away. Getting low on health, he'll save his flash, and if he did get that knock up though, it would have been a different story, I think. So as the bot lane carries on their fight, and a bit of carnage as well in the mid lane as well, getting quite low that Vigar, so Lux asserting the dominance. And it's all over the grab coming in on the press as well. Knocked up, the ignite coming in, That should be first kill. He'll try to delay it, but just not enough for the ignite. And then we're carrying on the Lucian as well, trying to do a bit more damage, but that is first blood to Big Chungus.
Hang on. Yep. Sorry guys, we have to quickly turn down the game sound. But
yeah,
there we go. Cool. Yeah, so I was saying that it was going to be important that the Thresh had blown his flash down in the bot lane. Now that Ignite and Heal have also gone, and the flashes are still both up on the side of Big Chuggers, Ligmiad, I can tell you for certain he has got his eyes down on this bot lane for a gank in the next, within the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, straight back in as well. Yeah, 2 ganks going on at the same time as well, and Uriel has flashed as well. And we've got a flash from Elle, but Barry will come out to save her.
And Uriel in the top lane.
Kaiser could be in danger here. Does get the Conqueror, not the grab. And now another grab though, bit better success on the bot lane. Yeah, one more hit to do it, but the Jinx survived. One more auto attack, and that would have been another kill as well. It's just all going on, Bitey.
Yeah, Ligmiad was in the bot lane there. You thought maybe he'd come around the jungle and look for that, but he's going to be happy enough taking that Scuttle Crab as the bot lane pushes in. He is got some free reign now though to push his way into that bottom jungle. He knows there's no support for the Zac if he tries to, and he was in fact in the top lane not long ago, so we'll see what he can clear out. Not too much there for him. He'll drop a deep ward in and recall for his first buy, which will be the jungle item and a pink ward. Good guy jungler picking up a pink ward.
Yeah, gotta help with the vision there now as well. But all setting up nicely so far, and only about 1,000 gold in it with that first blood kill. And bot lane is just gonna be a very big area for action now as well, and just everyone fighting everywhere really, as we see the Mountain Drake is the first Drake off as well. Yeah. And it's kind of all quiet on the Western Front for now.
We'll see how much value these teams put on that Mountain Drake. You know, the MLS is a fairly bloodthirsty league, and I will be excited to see the teams kind of group around this objective. With how it's been playing, with how it's been playing, I would expect Big Chungus to have a bit of an advantage around there. You know, the bot lane being a fair way ahead. If we have a quick glance at the gold,
there is a sneak. I think he might have been spotted by that ward though. Yeah, they have definitely seen that side. That was, unfortunately, the ward was spotted in that middle bush then.
Yeah, that is unfortunate because it's kind of what they need to get themselves back into here. Only 1 kill down, but it is 5,500 gold, 550 gold onto that Lucian, and another couple hundred onto the Blitz. You know, early game, 6 minutes in, that's a big lead. It's put itself out as a BF sword into a cull, so.
Ooh.
Yeah, damage in the top lane.
Again, he's on the flash. He's got a knock up so far. He still has the grab, of course, as well. The Lantern might save it. He's going to try and go for the grab. He's not going to flash anymore. Does get the Thresh, though. Doesn't have a knock up for now, and obviously Thresh might survive this, but the Lucian does have a lot of damage. Not long now until he's dead. One more auto attack. He's down, but Zac is coming in, as you say. Nice little kiss between the two, and that's the Blitzcrank at least down, and might be one more, but no, they'll hold that back. But that was a 1-for-1, so best they could probably have been in that situation there.
Yeah, Zac in the right place at the right time, just to trade that back. Was only onto the support, but support for sport trade. I think bin blue gamers, boomers. Oh man, that's so hard. So much alliteration.
Bloomers. I mean,
blue bin boomers. I think will be happy with the 1-for-1 trade on the sports there. It gives them a bit of breathing space. You know, Lucian's always going to have that early pressure. Trades. Sure. The Jinx will take support trades all day long. You know, it's accelerating her towards the item she needs for the late game.
Yeah, because the kill did actually go on the Zac in the end there, so the Jinx won't be as far back in it as she wanted to be, but that does mean that the Zac now can try and take that kill elsewhere, because clearly there's been a bit of a struggle in the mid lane as well, so that would be nice to break that balance up. As we not quite getting, but he does get the hook. The Death Sentence under the turret as well, getting turret aggro there. That will be a kill for the Jinx, and the Zac passive will pop though. Will he go down as well? A couple more hits Jarvan has gone in, turret hit. Zach does go down eventually. Lucian very strong with the blue buff as well. But the heal will be able to save her. And that was unfortunately 1-for-1 there again. But unfortunately the Jinx did get the kill as he got more fights.
Yeah, but 3 kills now onto that Lucian does mean so he is sitting on 1,800 gold right now. He's going to be backing up. He's going to be finishing off his first item.
We've got a nice little execution here. Sorry to interrupt you there, Bite2, but Mordekaiser should be able to get away. A couple more hits. The Death Realm has been activated though, so he's got to stay out of that turret range, which I've always been annoyed by, and that should be a stalemate there.
Yeah, nice use of the ultimate there, just to force the Aatrox to take a couple of turret shots he didn't want to, make that dive really awkward, and the disengage awkward as well. It means he can stay in this lane as we go forwards. But here he comes again.
Well, yeah, the flash just on the Mordekaiser there. Both very low at the moment, but I think I'd favour the Mordekaiser in that situation. So that big War Goddess Urza has got to be careful there. Does get stunned on the Event Horizon though, so Zach should be going down there. Perfect. Doesn't matter what level you are at Veigar, you're always going to be overpowered in that ultimate. So that was a bit of a mess up by the Zach, who's going to go further behind, but now we've got the Jarvan coming in. Does flash and the ult as well.
Ooh.
Good dash. That was very well played by the Aatrox to get out of there. And a lot happening.
Yep, Urza knows his flash timings, pinging the R on the Jarvan. Whew, that was close, but you can see the Mordekaiser, the sustain on that Mordekaiser, you know, brought down low a couple times.
As we got more fight, does flash onto the grenades as well. Lux does get some damage off as well. Lux is trying to get into the fight, but unfortunately the Veigar's the first one to go down, and then the Thresh eventually does, but unfortunately the Jinx has got out of there. That's a 1-for-1 with the Lucian on 4-0 now. But he's going to carry on the fight as well. Yeah, the Lux probably stayed too close at the moment, but does get the root as well, so she should be all right there. And Blitzcrank going out there. I should say as well, I've been informed that we unfortunately have Big Chungus on the overlay on the wrong side, and it has period drama apparently that's playing when it should be Blue Bin Boomers. So not sure if we might be able to change that while the game goes on. But no worries. But just to inform the viewers, in case you were a bit confused about who's playing. So we do have the Drake though. Mountain Drake does go over to Blue Bin Boomers, but the fight will continue, and that will be a dead Thresh any second now. Thank you very much for that, mildly epic. And this Lucian is going off the chain at 5-0 at the moment, and also with that Mountain Drake now. So Blue Bin Boomers making a very big mark at the moment to Big Chungus.
Yeah, not the carry we thought would be coming out of the side of Big Chungus, but I'm sure they'll be pleased to take it.
Yeah.
You know, Blue Bin Boomers might be wondering what happened down there in that bot lane. This has got very out of hand very quickly. 1 and 2 on the Jinx.
Meanwhile, yeah, well played by the Lux there. She's trying to go in for the kill as well, but it's not enough damage yet, so feels bad. But Aatrox does get a turret hit under the turret, but he is dominating. Wargos Urza pulling his party there for Big Chungus.
Yeah, even so, he's still a few CS behind. I mean, probably not a meaningful amount, but at the very least, Mordekaiser's keeping even. The scaling on these two, I would say, is probably fairly similar. They both kind of need that lifesteal as it comes through.
Oh. Yeah, I'd say the Mordekaiser is pretty strong at the moment. He might even be able to use his ultimate. He's going to save it, actually. Yeah, there's no... Thought he wouldn't be able to get the kill out there, but the Jinx, unfortunately, is way out of her depth there. That's just a simple another kill for the Lucian there.
Yeah, too far forwards as the Aatrox is getting proxy farmed.
Well, yeah, the snowball in Lucian is just great to see.
That feels bad. We're going to have to keep our eyes pretty strongly on
we've got the Zac in there as well. Good damage on the Lux, and that is a brilliant return kill at least to bring her back to 7 kills to 4 as well. Sorry to interrupt you there, Bite2.
No, don't worry. So I was about to say that Zac is definitely needing to pull his weight here, but definitely seems he is. Jarvan coming up.
Meanwhile, yeah, Aatrox is just about to get his first kill. Urza is now on the board, crucially, for Big Chungus. And unfortunately, a bit lopsided inside the map, but that's got to start somewhere, I suppose, on your road of recovery.
Yeah, it might sound weird to say, but it felt like in the early game, the Aatrox had the burst and the Mordekaiser had the sustain coming out afterwards. It finally seems as though the Aatrox, with that Caulfield's Warhammer, had enough burst to actually cut through that Mordekaiser all together in one sweep. You can see the Mordekaiser has not got anything other than that cloth armor as far as defensively. I mean, the Doran shield, obviously, but
yeah,
that's not going to help.
And they will also take that Rift Herald as well, crucially, which could help with the first turret as the plates are still up.
Yeah, they got 40 seconds to use that. They're going to have to move quickly. At a 2.5k deficit as is, they do desperately need some of that money. Another 600 golden plates would definitely put them a long way forwards, but with only half a minute left, I don't think they're going to get it. They're going to have to look for that first turret gold instead.
Yeah. Yeah, well, 12 kills in almost as many minutes, so certainly MLS living up to last season for sure, so glad we haven't lost that. Meanwhile, though, we have entered the Death Realm here as we got the 1v1, but I think Urza is actually too strong for the Mordekaiser now, so we'll have to back off there.
Yeah. One thing I would like to draw some attention to is, as one goes down, but that pink ward you can see is 1 of 5, so all 5 pink wards are down from the side of blue bin boomers. That one in that top bush, you got one just outside the Baron pit, one mid lane, which that Vigar's taking out now, and then 2 in the bottom side. The one slightly more defensive one, but I think that's probably justified based on how that bot lane's gone.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that the whole of blue bin boomers are putting emphasis on that vision.
Yeah, we've got a couple of fights going on here as well. The Zac is very much caught out, but he will be able to land into safety. Meanwhile, though, Urza's getting very low, and the Mordekaiser coming out from the top. That is 1 each there.
Yeah, Urza mercilessly pings that flash on the Mordekaiser. He still has his up. The evening out
there's
of
a
kills
bit of a
on the
weird glitch. Not sure if anyone else can see the Zac glitch at the moment, but he's currently being pulled by his head as he jumps in now as well. That's reset, and the Jarvan's getting very low. One more hit and flashes away to save. He should be fine, but meanwhile the Blitzcrank though is getting some good damage onto the Zac, but he's going to have to deal away. And meanwhile though, Blitzcrank does a good pull as well. Now the Zac coming back in, trying to get a kill, 1 each on there. Zac does have the pattern, so he's going to be able to survive. Meanwhile though, the Vigar's come in as well. Primordial Burst doesn't quite get the Lux, but eventually the final blow will get them, and the Lucian is now godlike with 7 kills, and that was all a bit of chaos there.
Yeah.
In terms of, but blue bin boomers managed to come out on top there.
Yep, a 3-for-1 in the favour of blue bin boomers. It does look like Big Chungus. Sorry, in the favour of Big Chungus. Yeah, in favour of Big Chungus. It does look like the Mordekaiser will also be able to pick up the top lane turret. Very close to. I didn't quite see what that finished on. Might give it a quick pop up, see where we were at. Yeah, so only 500, 300 health left on that turret.
Yeah.
Blue bin boomers are going to have to move fast if they want to get the first turret gold. They've got about a quarter of the time left on the Rift Herald, currently sitting on the Lux. We have to see where she wants to drop it because it's got to go down soon.
Oh, that's a good flash as well from the Lucian, yeah, and the Thresh has got nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and that is an 8th kill for the Lucian.
Yeah, Max and Jasper really have to calm it down. There's been 2 or 3 unnecessary deaths as the Mordekaiser steps up once more, but nothing.
Yeah, very even match on top.
Yeah, Max and Jasper need to calm it down a bit, you know. I mean, it's a late game Jinx. You're not going to get there for a while, you just got to calm it down against this 8-0 Lucian. You just got to sit back and take that farm as it comes to you. You can't be pushed up that far.
Yeah, she'll sit nicely there, just happily with her farm attack on. Meanwhile, though, the Zac has managed to get the knock-off onto the Zac, but now in the Death Realm, so Urza's going to have to hang around and wait for that to expire, and it does eventually. But unfortunately, the Jarvan Lickney Lid is back to support, so that fight will use.
Yeah, you can see him running up nice and early. And now
we do have a death sentence though onto the Blitzcrank though. He is on his own. But meanwhile though, the Jarvan coming in with some good damage as well. The Lux final spark did not do much damage there. Didn't really hit anyone. Meanwhile though, we've got another good death sentence onto Mordekaiser. Jarvan into the front line. And that is 1 down, 2 down on the Vigar. And now the Vigar is looking very strong as well. And Lick Me Lid is not done yet, as we will eventually take this first turret. Very close on that Mordekaiser. That's what you call balls, my son.
Ballsy. Ballsy indeed. Calculated, I think, if you're being You're being kind. Which, I mean, it probably was
Yeah.
calculated, you know. I don't think he was forced into that position.
Yeah, but this will also be a second turret as well for Big Chungus as well. So very good pressing there and getting a lot out of that fight as well.
Yeah. We'll have to see what Blue Bin Boomers can actually do from this position. They've still got the inner turrets.
Oh, yeah. This is unfortunately Max 211-2. This has been a prevalent feature of the game, unfortunately, and that will go nicely onto the Lucian again, who's just storming ahead in this game.
Yeah, maybe start getting some kills to someone else, Lucian. That's
Yeah. Oh, greedy. I know. Not one for the Blitzcrank at all.
Yeah, well, it feels like the Mordekaiser's could actually do with a couple, just to help him deal with Urza. Because, you know, the Aatrox Mordekaiser is probably still sitting...
Oh, that was a good grab. Right onto the event horizon.
Oh,
right all your burst will make mincemeat. And execute instead, actually. No kill for the fresh, sadly.
No. Ooh.
But this, that was a great kill. Yes, very good route there. And unexpected. Does get the shutdown gold. Bonus bounty of 300 gold there. So L is, as we said before in the game, doing all right. And still a fighting chance. You know, if she does get her abilities onto that Lucian, then he is as good as dead.
Yeah, it's an aggressive build for sure. Will see if he wants to go with any kind of survivability. You know, an Eye Edge and a Essence Reaver at 20 minutes is, you know, good and fast. 155 farm, more or less on curve. Maybe you can afford to get a little bit of survivability. Just make sure when that Aatrox and Zac inevitably jump on him, that he can survive and dance his way out to go on to the Jinx. We are seeing what is now a 8k gold lead on the side of Big Chungus.
Yeah, there's a bit of a gap there.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot. We'll see.
Yeah, but I've seen worse, you know. I mean, you know, it is possible. Certainly at this level, teams can struggle to see out a game. As Mordekaiser is on his own here, trying to 2v1. Now he's got 3v1 there, so the Lucian has come in at least to try and help him. Mordekaiser is still alive, though. Meanwhile, the Lucian, though, is getting very low. This could be the first kill of the game. Shutdown goes to the Thresh, unfortunately, but that is still very useful. Meanwhile, though, Lux could be getting a second kill of the game, going over to Litany Lids, and that is the first death for the Lucian.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, though, we have got another fight carrying on. The Lux, unfortunately, doing what she does best, and slightly overextending, unfortunately. Just to put a bit of a sour note on that, but alas.
Yeah, a nice splash out from the Zac there, having to make the full range of that to avoid the Dark Horizon out of the Vigar. Otherwise, he was probably dead under turret. I want to take a quick check at the gold to see where this is actually stacked on the side of Big Chungus. You can see 3.5 of that lead is on the Lucian.
Yeah.
Once he goes down, there is a fair chance for Blue Bin Boomers to get a win on a team fight, because, you know, with so much gold stacked right there, once he goes down, there's not that much of a lead. You know, 1,000 in the top lane, less than 400 in the top lane. Admittedly, a couple thousand in the jungle, but from a Jarvan who's built.
We've tried to flash Death Sentence as well there. Yep. And meanwhile, the Mordekaiser is on his own, going to get taken down very shortly. Still surviving, which will give his team a bit of time, and actually probably going for Baron here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to rush straight for that Baron. I don't think there's anything Blue Bin Boomers can do about this. No teleports, apart from the one on Urza, who's already the closest member.
Yeah, they do know they're doing it, though. Meanwhile, though, Lucian getting pretty low. If they might be able to turn it around if they get their abilities off.
Yeah, we'll see. Flash on Urza doesn't mean he can go in.
Yeah, Urza is coming in as well. Yeah, Lucian's going to have to flash away that. He is still alive, though. And the Baron is on the quarter health. At the moment, he's got a bit of a health, I should say, more like. And Zac's done well to come in there. He does have his passive, though, so he'll survive a bit longer. And blue team, Big Chungus, to get that eventually courtesy of the Ezreal. Meanwhile, though, the Lux has managed to do well and find some spark. Good grab. Again, Blitz have been exceptional this game, and that is key. Meanwhile, though, Jarvan still hanging around. Does want to go in and knock up as well. Is that going to get him killed? No, he's all right. And the Event Horizon will not hit as well. So the Baron for Big Chungus does try the flash grab, but Death Sentence coming on here as well. That could be the end of Blitzcrank. One more hit will do it. Yes, another kill for the Lux. That's very good. The Lux will be the sacrificial lamb onto the Thresh.
Yeah, for all that went well for Big Chungus, it did feel quite risky at times there.
Yeah, and now, unfortunately, she just stayed a bit too long. And another kill onto the...
Yeah, it didn't path the way out. That Baron got very low. And was low for quite a long time. It almost felt like if Bluebin Boomers wanted to turn on that, they might be able to take it.
That's not a fight you want to take, unfortunately, Zach, and that will be the culling taking out. But on the plus side, Chungus has managed to come in there, 400 gold bonus bounty on there. So did think that was a bit ballsy, but had his reasons.
Yeah, 700 gold total for that kill. I think Bluebin Boomers will actually be fairly pleased with that little trade there.
For sure.
The Jinx still working towards the second item, while Lucian sits on 3. There's a way to go. They probably need to stall out for at least another 10 minutes before they get anything close to kind of a fair parity on where they're sitting, as well as not giving up too much more. But we'll see. It's not out of the realm of possibility. We'll see what they can do with the Baron buff on the side of Big Chungus.
Yeah, it's still got a fair bit of time. They've still probably got time for another siege under the turret with the minions. So the Mordekaiser are doing well, split push as well. So that will keep Urza occupied.
Yeah, I've not actually checked how I see. Not entirely sure how I see the timers on some of these.
Yeah, I've not been able to see it, but I've just kind of seen. I've just seen that the general logo on the champion. So still time.
Yeah.
Of course, Mordecai unfortunately doesn't have the Baron buff, so he's not empowered the minions. He's just usual split push.
Yeah. The blue team have pushed their vision up nicely in that bot side. Well, I'm interested to see if that's where they're really going, looking for that interlink between bottom and mid lane. Make sure that Mordecai stays safe.
I think Mordecai made himself. He has gone into the death realm with the Thresh though, so he's going to buy himself a bit of time. Of course, he can't exit the death realm until that expires, and then that will be a simple death sentence and kill for the Lux.
Not a million miles off.
Yep.
Killing that Thresh, but top side, you're right. They do manage to take that top turret, even without excellent vision. They've left a bit behind, and they're going to back off and reset themselves. We'll see what they manage to pick up on the purchase. I imagine Jarvan should be able to finish whatever item he's gone for with this Spirit's Cowl, Spectre's Cowl. We'll see what he actually decides to go for. And it is the Spirit Visage. Obviously, most afraid of that Lux.
Yeah, just that magic resist. Yeah, just to keep it, give him survivability in those fights.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So, that's definitely suggests to me that they're looking to close this game out fairly soon. You know, in the long term, the Jinx is the one that will be causing him the most trouble. Lux, I would imagine, will be dropping off fairly soon.
That's not where you want to be. Yeah, another great Blitzcrank hook there as well. And a simple kill for the Vigor, as he's just going to get bigger and bigger. So at least they do have the Vigor to do ridiculous amounts of damage, as per usual. Another good grab onto the Aatrox as well. Stuck in the event, will try and survive as much as long, but once you're in there,
yeah, this feels like a final hurrah.
Zach, unfortunately, will be icing on the cake. Or look towards the Nexus.
Yep, they will indeed. They've now got 3 dead. Thresh will be up pretty soon, as the Blitz throws out a little bit of BM on top of that pink ward. Probably deserved. Garbage Khan feels like he's been on top of this game. Instrumental in getting that bot lane lead, which kind of snowballed the rest of the map, really. Freed up Jarvan especially to go towards that top side and make sure that Mordekaiser was okay against Urza.
Yeah, really been pivotal in that bot lane, you know. Flashed when he first killed the Jinx, you know, he flashed in with a knockout. Meanwhile, though, we've got another fight. DL's done good damage on Lucian, so he's going to have to stay out of the way. Meanwhile, all sorts going on here. Mordekaiser has gone down to the Lux, so that's the inhibitor has gone down as well now, but they are on the retreat. Big Chungus as Triple B are not done with this game yet. Lucian does get the kill onto bigger Wargolas Urza, meanwhile, but Lee Sing is still alive, takes out the Thresh at least, but meanwhile Lux no mana, so all she can do is simply auto attack, and Lake Milade will take out the Jinx finally as well. But shout out that as well. So 3 for 3 at the moment. Lux will have to go back to the base because she actually used all her mana in that fight quite incredibly. So this will be another turret and then reset probably and one more attack.
Yeah, wait for the Baron when it comes up very soon.
Oh, that was a not very good flag down there, and Lick Me Lid has been caught on the turret. He's going to have to take the long way round, and he's going to be stuck as well. He's just not doing well with his abilities there. And he's still alive though, he's doing well for that distances, but does eventually get killed now inside the death realm with the Mordekaiser. That is certainly a death sentence there for the Lux.
Here comes Jinx though.
Not done yet. The Mordekaiser is very tanky. He does pull in the threat. He's getting very low. Flash is not enough. And he is just getting more and more kills there. Getting very low. Lux, Jinx is going to try and get the kill, but Mordekaiser again, just... He's got the quad. There is one more kill down there for you, but unfortunately, Lee's team will take that 5th kill. But that's all the champions eliminated. On the side of Blue Bin Boomers, it has been a very good first performance for Big Chungus, coming back as some of their performances were last season, and they will look to take one more turret before the Nexus to win the first game of the series.
Yeah, you imagine they can close this one out fairly comfortably. Thresh and Lux are up in a second, but they're probably just going to be fodder into the KGAs on the side of Big Chungus.
Yeah,
Thresh does get
we
picked
got
out.
one more death sentence just for luck, unfortunately. Still good, and we have our first win for Big Chungus.
There we go, victory, game 1, first blood of the season to Big Chungus. Big congratulations to Lick Me Lid's team. You know, they probably came in here as the underdogs. Not by a large margin, but, you know, they're a new team. People are thinking it might take them a little while to gel to get into this season, but I don't know if they've been scrimming or whether this is just, you know, some natural synergy, but they really pulls all the stops out here. We'll have a quick glance, I guess, at the post-game stats. We can take a little look. If people are into that kind of thing, I'll pop them up on screen, but obviously the damage stats, and I imagine that's the one everyone cares about.
Of course, yeah, it's all about damage.
Yeah.
Tons of damage.
Yeah, of course, Lucian and Mordekaiser are up there top. I was very impressed though with L in the mid lane on this Lux. The one, you know, spark of hope I feel that Blue Bin Boomers had in this game. You know, bot lane obviously went a little bit south. Top lane felt fairly even, but Mordekaiser always felt like he was perhaps in control. But mid lane was where they actually felt like they had a bit of a lead, especially with the help of Zach.
Yeah, it was very interesting. You know, it started quite slowly, and then those couple of kills snowballed in the bot lane. Lucian just got out of hand. Do you know what though? It was Garbage Khan, sorry, who was very good with those engages and just snowballed from there. And then Mordekaiser was just the cherry on the icing on the cake, really.
Yeah. No. Well, guys, I hope you all had a fun time watching. Have you got anything else to add, Sam, or are we just about wrapping up here?
No, that's it. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Sorry about the technical difficulties and a bit rusty on the cast myself there, but yeah, it was great to get back into it for the first game of MLS 2020, and I'm looking forward to the next ones.
Yeah, I thought that went surprisingly smoothly, to be honest. For the MLS Season 1, Game 1, we didn't have a pause. The stream ran the entire time. Mic levels were, I think, fine. This can only mean good things. You heard it here first. A pauseless season is what I'm thinking. Cool. Thanks, everyone. So, yeah. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you all next week on Thursday. There will be games tomorrow cast by Craig and Tom. So make sure you tune in to catch them. But Sam and myself will be back next Thursday. We'll have to find out what game we're casting, because I don't think we know yet. But we're looking forward to it very much.
To be continued. Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, guys. Have a nice one.
Ciao.